Everyone, in this video we are going to see what is a thread, and we are going to see a simple C# program for demonstrating the concept of thread. So before moving on to the program, we'll first see what is a thread, the life cycles of the thread and the properties of the thread. A thread is basically a execution part of the program. It is also called as a live wait process. So moving on to the life cycle of a thread, we have four main stages. They are unstarted state, ready state, non-runnable state and a dead state. A unstarted state is a situation where the instances of the thread is created but the stop method is not called. A ready state is a situation when the thread is ready to run, waiting for CPU cycles. In a non-runnable state, a thread will be not executing if either the sleep method is called or the wait method is called. In simple words, it means it is blocked by some IO operations. Similarly, the complete execution of the thread is given by the dead state. A thread will also have three main properties. They are isAlive, isBackground and priority. IsAlive returns whether the thread is working or not. IsBackground returns whether the thread is running in the background or not. We have three levels of priority: min priority, max priority and normal priority. Min priority ranges from the values 1 to 4 and the max priority ranges from the values 6 to 10, and the normal priority has an exact value 5. So managing a thread, a sleep method is used to pause a thread for a specific period of time. To create a threads, we need to extend the thread class, and the external thread can be executed by start method. If two or more threads are executed simultaneously, then they are called as multi-threads. We are going to see the multi-thread option by using a concept in C#. On to the program, I am going to show a simple C# program which demonstrates the concept of multi-threading, and I am going to do this program in an IDE called as Microsoft Visual Studio, and you can download it for free from the internet. So initially I am going to go to File, New and Project, and here I have selected Visual C# and Console Application. You can give the name of your project here and click OK. So this will give me a skeleton code. So with this skeleton code, I am going to build my multi-thread program. So initially what I have to do is, you have to make few changes in the header files. So just make this change alone. Then here I am going to define a class called as class thread demo, inside which my thread is going to run. So I am going to create a program which is going to print the values from 1 to 10. So I am going to create two threads, and these two threads are going to print the values from 1 to 10. You can create n number of threads and you can make the threads to print the same values again and again. This is not only for printing the values, you can define any process and make your threads to do it simultaneously. So inside my class thread demo, I am going to define the variables like string tname and int count. And I am going to define a constructor for assigning values for my data variables. Thread demo of string tname, comma, int count. So here I have given my attributes values which are similar to my data members. So in this case, what you have to do is, you have to use the keyword called as this dot tname is equal to tname. So the purpose of using this keyword is, this particular keyword will overcome the ambiguity errors. So this will assign the attribute value to the data member in the case of your data members and your attribute values are similar to each other. If your attribute values are not similar to the data members, then there is no need for you to use this keyword. If you have a similar value, if you have a similar name, then you have to make use of this keyword. So similarly, I am going to assign value for my count variable using this keyword. Okay, so there is two important methods in multi-thread concepts, which is called as run and start. So whatever implementation my threads are going to perform is given inside the run method, and to start my threads I am going to use a method called as start thread. So in this particular program, my threads are going to print values from 1 to 10. So I am going to define it inside the run method. So public void run, and here I am going to give a line like monitor dot enter of this. So the reason why I am giving this particular line is, when you have two threads and you're going to execute it simultaneously, there is a chance for deadlock to occur. So what is deadlock is, both your threads will overlap each other and your output will not be in a proper order. So in order to overcome this, you need to use a concept called as synchronization, which will synchronize both the thread 1s and both the thread 1 and thread 2 for you. So in order to use the synchronization concept, you must give this line as monitor.enter of this. So this is for your synchronization process. So inside my try catch block, I am giving the values int I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. So here I am going to make my thread to execute with a delay of 100 milliseconds. Then I'm going to print my values from 1 to 10, console dot write line of name plus tname in count plus I. So whatever given inside the quotes will be displayed in my console, and the t name and I are the values which are going to be printed. The t name is going to give the name of the thread, for example thread 1 or thread 2, and I value corresponds to the values from 0 to 1. So with this my try block is over, and after this I am going to define my catch block. So if any exception has occurred in the program, it will be caught in the catch block and it will be displayed. So the error will be there in the E variable. So if I print that variable E, I'll get to know what is the error in the program. It is actually an object that is created for the class exception, and it has the error which has occurred in the program. So if you have seen the exception handling concepts, you have three keywords which is used in the exception handling concept, that is try, catch and finally. So the code which you expect to produce error will be given inside the try block, and the error which is thrown by the try block will be caught by the catch block, and you will display the error there. And finally, to show that your program has completed, you have a method called as finally. So this finally, try and catch blocks or the part of your exception handling concept. So this finally block will show the end of the exceptions. That means no other things is going to be implemented or executed after this finally keyword. So I've given like monitor.enter.this, which means my thread is going to start, and now I have to end the thread. So it is just similar to that syntax, monitor.exit of this. So with this, my implementation of the thread is over. So I have a predefined class called as class program, and inside my public static void main, I'm going to create two objects for a thread demo, the class thread demo, that is td1 and td2. Thread demo td1 is equal to new of thread demo of you must not give brackets here, new thread demo of thread 1 comma 1. So if you closely look into the thread demo class, in the constructor I have given like a string and the int value. So while creating the object, I have passed a string value like thread1, which defines this is my first thread, and the count variable is initialized from the value 1. So now I have to start the thread. So as I said before, the implementation of my thread is given inside the run method, and to start the thread, I need to create an object for the class thread, and I am using this particular object, that is td1. I am going to call the method which is defined inside the thread demo. So I'll make you to understand if I've given the code. So first of all I'll create object for the class thread. This is a predefined class in C#. With the help of this class, you can use all the methods which are defined inside the class thread. So I created the object for the thread class, and inside this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the object which I have created, td1, for the thread demo, and I'm going to call the method run, which I have given inside the class thread demo. So now I have to start my thread. To start the thread, give it as t1 dot start of so S must be in capital letter, t1 dot start of this. So repeat the same for your thread 2 also. So for this I have given only the thread 1, and repeat the same for your thread 2 also. So here I am going to create an object td2 for my thread demo, and I am going to pass the value thread 2, and I have given the same counter variable 1, and here I am going to create an object like t2 is equal to new thread of. So with the help of td2, I am going to invoke the method run, which I have defined inside the thread demo class. So td2 dot run, and I am going to run my thread. So t2 dot start. So in order to make your console in a standby mode, you need to give a line like console dot read key of so it's like already defined in the program, so you no need to repeat it. So that's it with the implementation. So I'm going to run this program. So to run this program, give this play button. So now my code is building, And if you see the program, if you see the output, it is given like the name is thread 1 and the value is count 1, and if the name is thread 2 and the count value is 1. So similarly for both thread 1 and thread 2, it has defined all the values from 0 to n. Thus both my thread 1 and thread 2 has executed simultaneously. So this is the concept of multi-threading in C#. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all like it. Thank you so much.